Hello, and welcome to another edition of CM9798 Plays. My name is Dave, and today we're going to be playing Pro Evolution Soccer on the PlayStation 2. Pro Evolution Soccer, or PES as you may know it, was released in November 2001 here in Europe, and it was the follow-up to International Superstar Soccer Pro Evolution 2, which is a mouthful, but was released on the PS1 in March 2001. As ever, it's a Pro Evolution game, so we've got a very exciting intro to watch to get us started today. So please remember, we are a football tribe.
Pro Evolution Soccer.
Some very important messages there, as always. Remember, who is the daddy? Vital question there. I'm really excited to play this game. Most of you who know the Pro Evolution series will probably count PES maybe 4, 5 or 6 as being the highlight of the series, and of course they were excellent games which hopefully we can look at later down the line. But this one, it kind of blazed a trail. It was obviously the first one on the PS2, as you mentioned in the introduction there. And there's an awful lot to talk about with it. And before we get into the various features, I'm going to run you through some of the ratings this game got to give you an idea of how highly rated it was at the time. BBC Sport, that old games reviewer, they gave it 95%, which is quite impressive. FHM, of course, that's the review everybody wants. They gave it 5 stars out of 5. And the likes of CVG, Edge, Eurogamer all gave it 9 out of 10. So very impressive indeed. Metacritic, the old aggregator, gave it 93 out of 100. So not far at all from perfection. With that in mind, let's just have a quick look through the options we've got. You remember my last video, which was ISS Pro Evolution on the PS1, obviously cut a lot of these features off. The biggest change, of course, is the club teams is now an option in exhibition. Let's just have a quick look in there. And you can see Manchester, London, Chelsea, Liverpool. A lot of the big name teams, perhaps not with licenses, which we'll come on to. I guess the exception is you've got London instead of Arsenal, and Manchester representing just the red side of that particular city. Otherwise, most of the clubs are quite recognisable. La Coruña for Deportivo, Paris for PSG, Amsterdam for Ajax, Buenos Aires and La Plata, we assume River Plate and Boca Juniors. Palstora, they look like it should be Palmeiras, and Rio de Janeiro is presumably Sao Paulo, but do correct me if I'm wrong. Leverkusen, München for Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Roma, Firenze, I'm pretty sure it's Fiorentina, Parma, Lazio, Milano for AC, Piemonte for Juventus, obviously their copyright issues go back a long way, seemingly. International for Inter Milan, Eindhoven for PSV, and Rotterdam for Feyenoord. So good selection of teams, not huge, nowhere near the amount you'll have on a modern game, but considering we could only have club teams in Master League mode in the previous game, it's now nice to have them as an option here on the main screen. I believe this was Newcastle's first appearance on a PES or an ISS, whatever you want to call it. So it's obviously, as a Newcastle fan, nice to see them arrive on the scene. And to give you an idea of what we're dealing with, let's pick them and let's have a look at somebody like Man United. Just have a look at what the squads look like. So you get all the usual options. We're going to play 5-star. Interestingly, we've changed from easy, normal and hard to stars now, which I think is better to have more of a range. I don't know if it's in this game, but certainly in later games you could unlock a 6-star, possibly even 7 stars. Again, in the more recent eFootballs or whatever they're called nowadays, they've changed it back to words, so you can go, you know, superstar or expert, professional. I think superstar is the highest level, maybe even more now. Not really in touch as much as I used to be. Having injuries on and off, nice. Number of subs, match type. Do you want extra time? Do you want golden goal, or do you want to go to pens? Yeah, why not? And stadium-wise, you've got the Lombardi Coliseum. You've got, is that Stadio Olimpico? I'm going to guess it might be. Catalonia Stadium is the new camp. North East Stadium, St James's Park, represent. Orange Arena is going to be the Ajax Arena, Amsterdam Arena, whatever it's called. The Munich Stadium, I think this must be the one they had before the Allianz. I think I'm almost certain it is. Monte Carlo Stadium in Monaco, the Asia Stadium, generically named there, presumably one of the ones they built for the World Cup maybe. It's around that kind of time. International Stadium, I have no idea where that is. Could be anywhere, or random selection. I'll just let it randomly select. I don't mind where we play today. And let's have a look at the squads. So what we'll do is we'll play through this match, and then I'll show you Master League mode. For obvious reasons, we all love the Master League, of course. So all the usual options. We'll go into formation settings. Nice, you've got formation data manager, easy for me to say. So you can save your formations and swap them between teams or whatever. So what we're dealing with here, Marcelino, that's not good. Dabazas, mostly real names. He sounds like a hygiene product. We'll not go into that. That's Diego Gavilan. So him and Lozano there, Norberto Solano, have got slightly odd names because of the licensing, as is Basadas. No excuse for Gary Spree, Clarence Anuka, Craig Balmy, Luma Rua for Loa and Dorconi. Aaron Hewitt, it's Aaron Hughes. Really odd how they have some lines and not others. You can look on Man United's team there. Greg's lovable food outlet. Revon Dudley there. Roy Keane, in case you get him mixed up with any other angry Keanes in midfield. And Beckham, Scholes, Van Nistelrooy. So obviously before Pez had the issue with the Dutch players, where you've probably seen later Pez's, they're replaced by like Orange 01 and other such ludicrous names which we know and love. Annoyingly, all four midfielders are down as CH, which I think is, I don't know, centre half, but it's not a centre half. It's stupid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change Lauren Bear. How do you do this? Position edit. Select position. That'll do. Robert. So I want him to be a left half. I guess that is. Kieran Dyer can be a right half. Alright, fine. Pick a formation, and let's just change some of these players over to be less insane. So I don't like Marcelino, so he's out. So let's have, I don't know, Goma. Solano can play on the right. We'll have Gary Speed in there, and we'll have Loa up front with Shearer. And Davidas is slightly unhappy, so let's call up Aaron Hughes. Lovely. You can see as well on the player profiles, firstly, they've now changed the stats to be out of 100 instead of the 10 I think we were dealing with last time. You can think they preferred foot, and they have up to 3 positions to play in. So Aaron Hughes can play centre-back or side-back or full-back to you and I. Most of them are quite straightforward, Kieran Dyer can sub as a right-back if needs be. Solano can play as a defensive mid as well as a side mid and attacking mid. So there you go. Lots of options at our disposal. We won't mess around with anything else for now. We'll maybe do it in game to show how easy this game is to change your tactics, which is something I really like.
Hello there, and welcome to today's game. I'm
Chris James and Terry Butcher on the commentary there. Now, Chris James, I think this might be his debut. I don't think it was him on the previous game. And I always liked that he was just a unique voice to Pez. I really felt like I was in the PES experience with unique commentators and things. Nothing against Peter Drury and Clive Tilsley, I think, who've done it in recent years. But you can hear them anywhere, whereas I can only hear Chris Jones when I'm playing PES. And for what they offer, which is about 10 stock phrases, I quite like having the unique voice in there. There's the team photo, and there's a huddle for Man United. It's a nice touch, nice pre-game build up to it, and put them out in the formation here, which is always nice. Looks quite good, that, doesn't it? It's quite professional. Not too dissimilar to the Champions League graphics. Probably just enough not to get sued. Same for Man United. So, I like that. Good presentation. Again, at the time, marvellous. Not really seen before. Centre circle's looking in good nick, but again, a detail you possibly wouldn't get previously.
He tries a shot.
Nearly got in straight away. Would have been good. So the buttons are your standard PES buttons. R1 is your sprint. He's offside. That's annoying. R1's your sprint. X is pass. Square shoot. Circles chip. You will get a power bar with both chip and shoot, depending on whereabouts on the pitch you are. It's obviously the standard of PES, and I think nowadays people who swap between PES and FIFA would struggle with the button switches, but they usually have a button configuration where you can just switch it dead easily between the two most common setups there. So nothing too surprising. Off the ball, X is like this sort of pokey tackle type thing. Circle will be a slide tackle. Triangle brings your goalkeeper out, which you don't want to mess around with. Especially, I seem to remember on FIFA, triangle was sprint, and if you sort of forgot what you were doing in between switching games, all of a sudden you'd have your goalkeeper flying out when what you really want to do is sprint. So that was always good fun. Not sure there's any real need to display across the screen throw in or free kick, whatever, but it does. So, that's loose.
The shot.
Oh, shit. There's no need to parry that to Paul Scholes of all people. I mean, I can't really blame the keeper when I gave it away from a throw-in, but, whatever. All here to learn and enjoy. This is a good run. I think I put this on 5-star. Just worried I'm just marauding through the Man United defence like they're not there. Not usually that easy. Cross is blocked.
Newcastle. Here's the throw-in.
With crossing as well, which is a nice feature, you can do a double tap a circle to get a sort of medium height cross, a triple tap to sort of hit it really low across the box. You lose a bit of accuracy with that, but when you've got small strikers, it's really useful. I'm guessing, depending on the winger and how good his long pass accuracy is, I guess that's going to affect how good those crosses are, which again, is what you expect from a football game. There should be some degree of difference depending on whether you're crossing with, I don't know, standard Master League player or someone like David Beckham, for example. So I'm liking that. Oh, goodness me. Newcastle were never really famed for their defending around this kind of time, or ever really, for that matter, especially with such luminaries as Alan Gomar and Aaron Hughes knocking around in there. So that's a really poor pass. Never really had this Newcastle side down as being worse than the Master League team, but here we are. Oh, that's poor, very poor. We'll maybe play this for a little bit of time, and we'll go and have a look at some of the other features. But it plays really well. You can probably see from just watching me mess around with what's probably a very good Newcastle team, which I'm making look extremely pro. Manoeuvrability is good. The players are very responsive. It's really fun to dribble as well. If you've got to play with a good dribbler, and like Kieran Dyer should be good at this. You can really get ahead of steam, and if Lawal's got some pace, he may get away here.
He shoots.
Oh, just wide.
Oh, that one goes
But
off to the side.
That felt really authentic, the way Dyer burst through the midfield and slipped in a striker like that. It's the type of goal that you would see every week at Premier League level. It's a good hit. which is what you're looking for in a football game. And bear in mind, this is 2001. We're
Here's the
good
throw in.
touch. We're a long way away from what you get nowadays, which the games are unbelievable. Well, they can be unbelievable. But even graphically, it's a notable step up from the PS1, which
Sends a
of course
short
you'd
pass.
expect. That's a good chance. Here he
He
goes,
scans the field as he passes the ball.
and that's 1-1.
Fabulous
Good
move.
finish. Now, will he do a flip? I wonder.
They've levelled the game.
He will not. He will just hold the flag, and there's Shearer to applaud.
Let's see that
Which,
again in slow motion.
not the most exciting goal I've ever seen. I'm not going to watch the replay of that, of all things. It's a foul. We'll probably get to half time or thereabouts.
This is dangerous. He takes the shot
Nowhere
from
near.
there.
I do like though that the opposition are happy to take pot shots from distance, and they don't always go in. It's
The sun's beating down, but
again
the wind is
quite realistic,
through the stadium.
more realistic than what we get. Oh dear me. Nowadays, where the only time the opposition ever shoot is when they're scoring, or they're trying to walk the ball in, which may be more to do with modern football, but it's surely a foul, ref.
A great
And again.
sliding clearance.
Just says injury time at the top there. Doesn't really give you an indication of how much, and from memory, it doesn't really seem to change whether it's
He's
well,
made
there
a
isn't
run.
really any stoppage time to have. Let's just hit it.
He
See what happens.
shoots. Ooh, nicely blocked. They can't finish their
Oh,
attack.
good half. Enjoyable half. So we get a half-time highlights package, which is nice. I'm sure this music was used in Alan Partridge. Like at the start of an episode, I'm Alan Partridge, that is, where he's sure like a montage of things Alan's done. I'm sure they used this music, or certainly similar music.
Let's
We'll have a
look
look
back on
at
the
some
first
point.
half.
So
And the score is
again, something that wasn't always in the games, which I find crazy, is that you couldn't change anything at half time. You had to start the second
Well,
half
Terry,
and
what
go
do
in
you have to say about
and
the
press
game up to this point?
pause and go to the menu there. But now, pressing square, I can change my formation. I'm not going to, but what I will show you is under attack attitude. I like this feature as well. You can choose who goes forward and who doesn't. So if I want, my fullbacks to bomb on, I can just put the little arrow on them there. And they'll do that. And likewise, if I want Gary Speed to maybe sit a bit, I can put a down arrow on him that way, which I like. It's a really nice feature. The strategy thing, again, no one ever really uses this, but you can set up to 4 things to happen by putting these on. So I think it's L2 and the corresponding button. So, who knows what even zone press means. Counter-attack means players will go forward when you turn over possession. You can do a quick formation change, which brilliant, really, when you think about it. If I want to switch from a 4-4-2 to a 4-5-1 to see the game out, I can do that. Change side will make your wingers swap over. Opposite side attack, so if you're running down one side, all of a sudden your players will look for the switch and that sort of thing. They're really good features to have on, and I like that. Attack defense level. You can have it as normal, or you can have it as manual. So what this means is that the number of players who will go forward or back will depend on the game. If I do it manually, I can have it as an all-out attack at all times and just leave 6 or 7 players up the field if I'm perhaps chasing the game and need a goal. So lots of stuff to get stuck into tactically without being bogged down by it. And I don't feel like I've got to play Football Manager here. I can just
Here's the kick-off
do what I
to
need to
start the
do.
second half.
I'm not going to play the second half because you've probably got a decent enough flavour of what can be done, and more importantly, I equalised, and it means I don't have to finish on a loss unlike last time. So we've been through match mode. Happy that All-Star Match is still here. We'll show you the All-Star teams shortly. I can load my Master League team in, so if I wanted to play against other club teams with my Master League team, I can. And the all-important PK match is there if I want to waste 5 minutes having a penalty shootout. League mode is just international teams. So if I go new game here, I can make that 5 stars. I'll go OK. And as you can see, I can pick from all the international teams around the game. Some are better than others, of course, but you know, most of the major nations are here. Can't remember off the top of my head if any of these were debut nations. Possibly Cameroon from memory, but we're going back a long way here. So if it's not on Wikipedia, I don't know, which is where we are. So nothing to write home about there, but nice, you can have a league if you want to. Cup mode's the same, it's international teams only. You've got your World Cup, you've got your European Cup, you've got your African nations, your, I guess that's the Copa America. It is the Copa America. Well, it's not, because it's also got Jamaica, Mexico and the USA, and there's no like Bolivia or Venezuela or Ecuador, but you get the idea. You can make that happen. The Asia Cup, that's a thing, and the Konami Cup, which is a free choice, as it says there. Tournament or round robin, group league, I like that as a feature. You can again, multiplayer. This was great. You could, I could have a round robin if there was 4 of us in someone's house where we're all playing. Yes, I only have 1 controller. I know. Fine. So that was a nice feature. Practice mode is just training, and edit mode we'll quickly dive into. I won't spend loads of time here, but edit mode, you could add players to your national team if you made new players. There was no transfers or stuff just yet, but it would all come in future PESs. All-star selection though, always a favourite. You've got Euro stars and your World stars. Of course, the World stars don't really have real names. There's a real mix and match in here, like Cordoba's in there, alongside Paulo Montero, Ars from Paraguay. Canu makes the cut, but interestingly, Ronaldo doesn't. Romario does, despite being 35. And Nakazu is in, and Gabiri. I think that's Emerson from Roma, and Quentin Fortune, of course, has made the cut, but it's a mix and match to say the least. The Euro 11 is, it's more recognisable, I would say, from front to back. Sheva's only on the bench. I don't know how Solskjaer made the cut. Like at this stage, he was super sub behind Cole and York, who obviously are European and didn't make the. Well, York's not European, I should say, but Cole is, and he didn't make the cut, but Solskjaer did, so good for him. Rui Costa, Scholl, Figo, Mendieta, Vieira all sat in place on the bench. If I was to play this game, the Euro All-Stars would win. I'm fairly certain. Poor old Paulo Nedved didn't make the licensing cut, and don't think either did. Well, you didn't. It's Nisa Mihailovic, and free kick accuracy 90. It's good. Please, they added that in. What's Beckham's free kick accuracy? It's 86. So there you go. You heard it here first. Would rather have Mihailovic over Beckham, which, well, you can debate that in the comments. Right. So the last thing we'll do is we'll just quickly load up Master League. I'm not going to play a Master League match because, well, you've seen me play a Master League match last time out and it wasn't that successful. It's maybe not the best advert to show you how the game works, but because you're playing with such a substandard team. And I know, no jokes, I play with Newcastle in the other one. I've played maybe 3 or 4 games here. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, played 5 games, 1-2. Not exactly 3 scorers. What I do want to show you though is the squad, because we've got the Master League lads as you know them. So you may remember last time out we had on ISS Pro Evo we had the original Master League squad who no one remembers, with the likes of Kitty, and someone found that all the players were named after car engineers, I think for Alfa Romeo, which is unbelievable research. If you check out Harder, Better, Faster Stromer on Twitter, I don't know if he wrote it or if he found someone who wrote it, but unbelievable find. So well done, well worth checking out. Now that we've got the more familiar team, before they got their names changed, so again I think it might have been just a joke at the licensing thing. This is what they used to be called, so Inorov, Stromer, Darich, Valerie, and so on. Obviously Costello became Castolo for a lot of the series. Probably no more as Castolo than Costello, but originally he was Costello. Like Mirinda and Valerie became Valani and Minanda. So there you go, bit of knowledge there for you. Of course, the English guy is called Cecil. A Scottish player was introduced, Eddington as he was here, as the left back. Matt, the Welshman, of course, just Matt. Boucher. Rapid, really quick, but a useful option off the bench. Nord, Huygens, you know these players. They've been part of our lives for so long, and this is where it all started for them. So good for them. And you know, I always thought Espinaz was Spanish, and apparently he's French. So read into that what you will. I really like it. I like it so much that what I might do is start doing a weekly game in the Master League where I'll just upload the game and I'll talk over it. And hopefully you'll all watch it and love it. But if not, I won't. But we'll try it and you might like it. So I'm going to leave it there for now. So a lot more to come from this game. The original Pro Evolution Soccer on the PS2. If you'd like this video, please check out the others. You'll find them in my channel. There's a playlist put together of just CM9798 plays, which is the other games we've trialed so far. There's a lot more to come in the new year as well. You can find me on Twitter at CM9798. But thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again sometime soon.